I've got three great guests today. That rarely happens. I mean, I have great guests, but three all in one show. This is the Jeremiah Show. Welcome back. Larry Dvoskin is a multi-platinum songwriter, producer, and lifelong musical visionary underscore visionary whose credits include collaborations with the great David Bowie, Al Jardine of the Beach Boys, Sean Lennon, Sammy Hagar, and Bad Company. That's just to name a few. If I named all, we'd be here, we'd run out the tape. Larry is a member of the Recording Academy and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. His work blends artistry with consciousness. And what more could you ask for? Chad and Sean Bierman's Familiar Faces Band is rising fast. From Long Beach, California, they are known for their flamboyant performances and stellar musicianship. Welcome back, everybody. You're here to premiere this new age of collaboration with all of you guys, and it's amazing. Listeners, don't go anywhere. It's coming up. We're going to play the whole thing, and I need you to put, as Larry says, turn it up loud, put on your headphones, and just jam out to this song. You got to take it all the way to the end. Once you get on the ride, it's it's a good one. You don't want to get off. So welcome back, guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about Familiar Faces and your humble beginnings. How did you guys were playing together when you're 8 years old? Your twin brothers. Take it from there. Who wants to pick it up? Chad?
Sure. Yeah. Hello. Sean's my identical twin brother. He's 10 minutes older than me. We were both naturally birthed in
And I bet he brings
2003.
that up all the time, doesn't he?
Hey, I mean, I could have pushed him out. You never know.
You
But
were a
He says
gentleman.
that.
You were polite, right? You were just
I
being
was
polite.
just comfy in there. It was warm. It was cold outside. I didn't want to feel that outside air, but here we are making
You're like,
music.
the life of a rock star is tough. Let me stay here just a few more minutes.
Exactly. And now we're 22, playing guitar together, bass producing together in the studio, making it all happen. So grateful to make music with my brother. We started playing at the age of 8 because our older brother played and he inspired us to start playing a little bit. Also, but I remember always begging him to teach me and he would always, say no. And then one day I went grocery shopping with my mom and then I came back home and he was teaching Sean just for fun. And I was like, what the heck? I was so mad at him. So I was like, if he could teach Sean, I could teach myself. So I learned Smoke on the Water. And then I started gatekeeping songs and I'd be like, oh, Sean, you can't learn that one. And then I'd secretly learn it because I
Yeah,
was
Chad turned
jealous.
it into a nasty competition.
I know.
But
I was,
I guess it was for the best, a little sibling rivalry pushed us both to just keep playing and now here we are writing songs almost
Do you
like
guys
a
push each other? Do you
yeah.
do
I
you
mean,
make each other strive for better and more all the time?
we do.
I
Like, I'll write a song and Sean will tell me like what he thinks the lyrics could improve on. He'll write a song and then maybe he'll focus on one song, but I'll be like, I really like this other song you did, even if it was a long time ago. And then we'll end up releasing that one and working on it together. And is we usually write alone and then we bring it together. And sometimes we write together and those come out great too. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun just being able to have that with your brother. I think it's something that's really kept us close over all these years. I mean, obviously we're twins, and that has its own like level of closeness involved with it. But being in a band has been a wonderful experience with your brother. It's really cool being able to just always make music. It's a great reason to bring us together. And
and I will
yeah,
say, when we were kids, we used to, fist fight all the time like brothers do, especially as identical twins, so close. But after a couple fights as we got like 10 and older, we were just like, you know what, this is pointless. So remember last time we fought, no one was home, we fought endlessly till we were so weak we just both started laughing and then we never fought again. And it's like now that kind of carries on as bandmates. We understand each other infinitely well as identical twins and we know how to work through conflicts without
Mhm.
fighting and so it works. Thankfully we're good at communicating with each other. And our other
oh yeah, of
bandmates like
course.
Nonso, he's a stellar human being. He's always on top of it. He's really good at communicating too. So like it's been an amazing experience,
Oh
honestly.
yeah, of course. I mean, in a band, it's I mean, not to sound weird or anything, but it is almost like a
Marriage.
relationship. It's like you gotta definitely. I
Sure.
mean, it's hard. I understand why there's a lot of solo artists in this industry because it's hard to keep a group of people together functioning. So it's fun though.
Yeah.
We're having a blast.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think go back to just always go back to, the love, and you guys are there to create some really great music together. If you forget
And
about everything else,
And the awesome
it's
part
going to get
is,
tough.
Sean will bring songs to the band and we'll love it. I'll bring songs to the band and hopefully they'll love it. Nancy will bring songs to the band and we'll love it. And so we all like what we each bring to the table. And so it's not only a joy to be working with us, each other as friends, but is each of us being talented people. Like I feel like I'm blessed to jam with some super talented musicians every day, genuinely.
I've never talked to twins, musicians that were twins, brothers. You know how they say a twin, you can almost feel if your twin is going through pain on the other side of the world, you feel that. I don't know if that's true or not, but does that help? Does that work musically as well? Do you guys feel each other? Um, can you finish each other's musical sentences?
I heard it's scientifically proven that when musicians jam together, they actually enter the same frequency wavelength in their brains, kind of like how a woman's
Wow.
periods sync or something.
Huh.
And so, to be honest, we haven't had the most telepathy. I'd say one time we did. We were like both falling asleep in this room when we used to have two beds here, and it was like 4 a.m. We were talking, and we were like, we should go to bed. And we both blinked, and suddenly it was daylight. That was crazy
Wow.
experience, and we both felt super well rested. But besides that, we haven't had much telepathy. But when we jam, we're able to understand like what each other want to do. We understand the influences. We have that whole background knowledge, and we understand each other on a level of just who we are as people, like to the best extent a human probably could, in my opinion. So with that extent, it's like yes, we're able to understand each other before we speak, not because we're reading each other's mind, but because we have a good understanding of who we each are.
Hmm. Yeah, you've built
Mhm.
this relationship. Well, this week we lost. It feels like we're losing more and more. We're losing these iconic musicians, and this week was no exception. Really hard, I know, on a lot of people. Larry, you work with Al Jardine, and you know the Beach Boys, and you knew Brian Wilson. Um, how are you doing? And my condolences for the loss of your friend.
You know, two things, and then I need to answer your question. I'm fine because it wasn't like a car accident or a plane crash. Brian has been really ill for a long time, and showed up anyway. And there were criticisms sometimes when he'd perform and he'd get tired after a few dates. He wouldn't be as on point with everything. But it was almost like, he's been touring either under the Brian Wilson Band or the Pet Sounds tour for more than 15 or 20 years. 2000, actually, it's 10 years. He started the Pet Sounds tour around 2015. And it's almost like going to watch a Beethoven symphony where Beethoven, who was deaf, is just sitting on the stage. Like the adoration of people, the music is part of our landscape, our it's in our DNA. And I just had a thought that just crossed my mind. You know, the Wilsons were brothers, Brian, um, Dennis and Carl, and they were from Torrance, California. And here we're with two twin brothers, Chad and Sean, from Long Beach, which is just down the block. So I don't know what's going on down there. You're listening and you're thinking of starting a band, and you have some brothers who sing with you. Move south of Los Angeles Airport because
Long Beach.
there's something in the water right there.
I gotta
Um,
say, it's a magical place here. Like all the bands I meet, and it's just magical here. And I resonate a lot with the Beach Boys songs, and it makes sense because very similar growing up experience.
yeah.
That's Sean that you're listening to right now. And Sean, on our commercial break, flipped his phone around for me to show me where he lives. And he's got a nice big boat in the marina right out his back deck. So you're living the life, my friend.
Yeah, very thankful. I
Oh,
was
There
teaching.
it is.
Yeah, I was
Watching the
teach.
YouTube video.
Yeah, I was teaching a guy met guitar lessons, and he became my landlord. And there you go, the wonders that music can do for you. I'm very thankful. So
Yeah.
now I'm here.
So I want to quickly just mention that this Friday, June 20th, it would have been Brian Wilson's 83rd birthday. And we released a song. I wrote a song years and years back called Wish that Al Jardine was remembering when they were kids, when they were growing up and they were in high school and they formed a band and everyone said, you'll never make it. 1,000 songs get released a week and 10 get on the radio. What makes you think that? And plus the name the Beach Boys is so stupid. Who would ever want to listen to some, and a year later they were number one on the charts. So we wrote this song and it was really a nostalgic look back to this sort of time of innocence and hope and sort of passion for life and all of its opportunities. And I feel like both Chad and Sean and Nanzo from Familiar Faces and the guests they have playing drums are in that place right now where life is this unlimited palette of possibility. And that's why we wrote the song Wish. And it so resonates because it doesn't tell you what to wish for. Just like this new age doesn't tell you how to change yourself to save mankind. It just poses the question like the answer is blowing in the wind. The answer is different for each person. This could be Your Song by Elton John. It doesn't tell you who the Your Song is about. And so it's just a wonderful thing to be able to create. And I seem to have this resonance with California beach people. And I'm really honored.
Because you're so sunny.
I'm sunny most of probably my partner Nikita would tell you otherwise, but that's a different interview. So
thank you for explaining the song, and we're going to play the song coming back from break, and we might as well go ahead and do that now. When we come back from break, we're going to play Wish by Al Jardine, Larry Dvoskin, and then at the very end, which is coming up too soon, This New Age, the world premiere on the radio, I believe. I've got that fact straight. Larry Dvoskin, Chad, Sean, Bierman, Familiar Faces. They're my special guests today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're listening to a song On the Way Out by Familiar Faces.
Thank you. Much love.